welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing an unboxing. I recently broke my last laptop, which it was on its last legs, so it was kind of on its way out anyways. Still unfortunate, but it allowed me to get a new laptop. So this is the new 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro. I got the baseline version, so it came out to about $12.99. And I gotta be honest, I'm not super good when it comes to all the techie stuff, so I do have some notes here that my boyfriend helped me put together just so this was a little bit more professional. As you can see, I got the silver version. It comes in silver and space gray. I believe if you want the gold one, you have to go with the MacBook Air. So to get into some of the features, this has the 8th gen processor, not the 10th. If you want the 10th, it's an extra $500, I believe. It also has turbo boost up to 3.9 gigahertz, which I don't know what that means, but I wrote it down. This also has 8 gigabytes of memory and 256 gigs of storage. I watched a lot of reviews on this before I started making this just so I could kind of like figure out what other people thought was like super cool about it. Not that this is like not super cool in general, but just as somebody who doesn't get as excited for tech stuff, I just wanted to see what was the most exciting parts, and everybody seems to love the new keyboard. This is the Magic Keyboard, and it came out in fall 2019 in the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's just a more durable keyboard, and it's less aggressive sounding when you type. For example, this is what it would typically sound like. Get some ASMR in there, and this is what it sounds like now. So yeah, just a little insight on that, thank you. So my personal favorite thing about this, besides the keyboard, is the touch bar, which I know isn't something that's super new, but coming from a 2013 MacBook, I haven't seen anything like this. And it's really cool because you're able to pretty much do most functions with it. You can turn the brightness up, the volume up. My favorite part is that you can use emojis now, because that was something I was super bothered by on the old one when I'm commenting on YouTube videos, and I can't put an emoji because I really like using emojis. Also cool, also not new apparently, but the Touch ID, I think that's super cool, so you don't have to type in your password to get into your computer. You can just use your Touch ID like your phone. This specific MacBook has one headphone jack and 2 Thunderbolt ports. And just for a size comparison, I'm gonna compare the new one to my old 13-inch MacBook Air. So this is how they compare side to side. The MacBook Air is obviously a little bit taller. And then this is how they look stacked together. So yeah, this is just a little bit bigger. And then for even more comparison, if you were thinking about getting the 16-inch, this is the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. And you can tell it is quite a lot bigger. As you can see, a lot bigger. It's definitely a lot heavier, but you are getting what you pay for, just the overall quality is better. So I wanted to dive a little bit more into comparisons between my new MacBook and my old MacBook. I don't know how many people still have 2013 MacBooks, but it lasted me a really long time, and I'm actually pretty sad that it died, but all good things come to an end at some point. So in comparisons of screen size, the screen itself is still the same, but as you can see, the bezels on the outside of this are a lot wider, so that's what makes the laptop a little bit bigger. I wish I was able to turn this one on to show you the difference in resolution, but this one is obviously a lot higher. I would say roughly you would be comparing them to 720p compared to 1080p. And a really big difference is the storage. This has 256 gigs while this one only had 128. So that's quite a difference. And I noticed that really fast on this one because I always had that little message of your disk being full, which is super annoying. So it's nice to have some more storage in this one. This one also has half the amount of memory that this one does. This one sits at 8 gigs and this one is 4 gigs. Something else that you'll find is pretty significantly different is the ports. It has the MagSafe, which isn't a thing anymore. You have your USB, your headphone jack, and then on the other side you have the display thing. You have another USB, and then you have a port for SD cards, which I kind of missed that, honestly. In terms of the new one, you'll want to get, if you're going to want to use USB or SD cards, you'll want to get one of these. You have multiple options. This one has the SD card reader, while this one does not. This one just has the USB, HDMI, and Thunderbolt port. This also comes with 3 USB ports and the USB-C. It also has an HDMI on the end. So this is pretty handy, and I believe it's only $20-ish. So I do also want to talk about the trackpads. The new one is pressure sensitive, where the old one is an actual button, and you are only able to push it in the bottom 2 corners, where this one you can press it anywhere. So that's basically it for the features and the comparisons. I do want to say I'm super excited to have this new laptop, especially since I started making YouTube videos. That was becoming such a struggle with this one, I would say the last 6 months or so, even though I haven't even had my YouTube channel that long, just like in terms of being able to use this laptop. It did last me a good 7 years, so I can't complain, but pretty much any time I wanted to edit anything, or really just use it in general, the power source had to be plugged in at all times. If it was unplugged for even like 2 minutes, it would die. It didn't matter what battery life it was at, it would just die, which is super annoying, especially when you're trying to edit a video and your iMovie shuts down every 2 seconds. And so yeah, that was kind of a nightmare, I would say, a little bit. Another thing that was slightly annoying, not awful, but it's still inconvenient sometimes, is the fact that this one still had the MagSafe cord and these new ones do not. So I wasn't able to swap cords with my boyfriend. I only had the one that I could use, and so that just kind of limits me a little bit. I want to show you what my cord looked like because it has been through it. Still works to this day, but let me just show you. Now this isn't the original cord. I want to say I only had 2 or 3 cords over the span of 7 years. And I don't know how it even started, but once the outside started kind of fraying, it was just like disintegrating everywhere all the time. I had an iPhone cord like this one time that I kept shutting in the car door, and it ended up looking like this, and somehow miraculously still works. But yes, that's another thing that I'm really excited about, is to have a new shiny cord. Overall, I'm super excited to have this new laptop. I've heard pretty much from most people that this wasn't a huge upgrade from the previous generation, but me coming from a 2013 to this is a big jump, so this is really exciting for me. I would say if you're somebody that's looking for similar situation to mine, this seems like a great option. If you have the money, I would say maybe you could upgrade to the $17.99 version, but I do feel like this is going to work really well for me. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a little bit of knowledge that you may not have known out of this. I know I did. So hopefully you enjoyed, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.